सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। तपोयज्ञदानादिभिः शुद्धबुद्धिः विरक्तो नृपादेः पदे तुच्छबुद्ध्या परित्यज्य सर्वं यदाप्नोति तत्त्वम् परं ब्रह्म नित्यं तदेवाहमस्मि। So yesterday we saw that in the pursuit of knowledge there are three stages. The first one is Jnana Yogyata Prapti. Some people got confused, three there, you know. So first stage is Jnana Yogyata Prapti, attainment of the fitness for knowledge by Karma Yoga and Upasana. Second is Jnana Prapti. Third is Jnana Nishtha Prapti, the attainment of assimilation of knowledge or attainment of this abidance in knowledge. And the first shloka is talking about the first stage, Jnana Yogyata Prapti. And how is it to be attained? Tapaha Yajna Danadibihi Shuddha Buddhihi. A person attains the buddhi, the mind which is pure. Shuddha buddhihi yasya. A person whose mind is pure. How is it made pure? Tapaha, by austerity, penance. Yajna. Yajna means worship. It can be ritualistic worship or worship of the Lord in a particular form. Dana, sharing. Adi, Veda Adhyayana or any other sadhanas which can help us to purify. And this yajna, as I said, popular primary meaning of yajna is this ritualist, this fire ritual where the oblations are offered into fire. But in wider sense, yajna means worshipping the Lord. So we invoke the presence of all-pervasive Lord in a particular form. And by that we are getting connected to Ishvara. This puja becomes way of getting connected to Ishvara. Many people think that God is all-pervasive. Why should we worship the Lord in a particular form? We are restricting God. You are not restricting God. See, when you are showing your respect to your country, how? By saluting to the flag. So when you salute, offer a salute to the flag, are you restricting the country? It's not. You are not really offering your salute to a piece of cloth. You are offering your respect to the symbol of the entire country. And that is there in every religion. one way or the other, even though they say we are not idol worshippers, you shall not worship any form of the Lord, etc., they say, but still they will have a cross. Still they will have some star with this moon, etc., crescent moon and star. They worship, follow, when they worship, they always face particular direction. Why if God is formless, why should you face particular direction? It means they are thinking of particular place. And therefore, this form worshipping the Lord through a particular form is prevalent everywhere. Now, nowadays it is very common. You don't say love, you send that particular, heart. No. So that's what. Namaskara, don't people do now? Namaskara, that emoji is there. Sometimes in some message, emojis are more than the script, text. Nice to see that also, colorful. So, we don't dismiss it. We don't say that everybody has to do it, but those who are doing, they are inferior people. They are what is called idiots. They are fools. That should not be the thinking. It is very important part of our sadhana in the initial stage. So, what we are doing, you are invoking the presence of the Lord, because you cannot relate to all pervasive directly. And because of our likes and dislikes, initially I cannot see God everywhere. Therefore, I have to see God somewhere. And when I invoke the presence of Ishvara, then I feel connected, and that connection with Ishvara gives me strength. Therefore, it is very useful, very important, worshipping the Lord in a particular form. And fortunately, those who are born in this culture, they have been, used to this. For them, it is not a very big issue. But those who are not, they have little bit struggle, because generally they come to India through Vedanta or yoga, and in yoga and Vedanta generally formless God is talked about, Brahman consciousness, and therefore this form is very difficult. They have sometimes resistance to go to the temple, and they think that it is meant only for very primitive people. It is not so. Our big acharyas, they worship. And another thing is that Pujya Swamiji used to emphasize this point, and that is, Indians are idol worshippers. We also think, we are idol worshippers. Nobody worships idol. We are worshipping the Lord through the idol. So, we are not the Ashma Pujakaha. We are not worshipping the stone or a particular idol. We are worshipping the Lord through the idol. And generally, my favorite example is this. When you are talking through a cell phone, that time, immediately speaking, whom you are talking to? The phone only. But if somebody asks you, whom you were talking to, do you say, I was talking to the phone? You don't say. You say what? I am talking to my brother, sister, etc. But really speaking, what you are doing? You are talking to the phone only. So what do you say? I saw you talking to the phone. Then you say, I was speaking to my brother through the phone. You never say, Swamiji, half an hour I was talking to the phone. You never say that. You always say what? I speak to my brother through the phone. Similarly, I worship the Lord only through this Vigraha. Therefore, we are not this really Murti Pujakaha, we are Bhagavad Pujakaha. Vayam Bhagavad Pujakaha, natu Murti Pujakaha. So, don't have such complex. Another explanation also we have. And that is, in the idol also, we invoke the presence of the Lord by particular mantras. And therefore, for the devotees, the idol is not an inert entity. It's a live entity. It is called prana pratishtha. And sometimes we do, we do permanent prana pratishtha. Like the temple, we have the idol, it is permanent prana pratishtha. So every time they don't have to do. Whereas when we do at home, we have small vigraha and we do puja, then avahanam we do. Asmin vigrahe mahaganapatim avahayami. So I invoke the presence of the Lord and worshipping the vigraha. So vigraha is like the body of the Lord at that time. In Ishtadvaita and all, they call it Archa Avatara. That vigraha, when we invoke the presence, it is called Archa Avatara. It is the incarnation of the Lord in that particular form. Therefore, in any way you see, we are not worshipping the stone, we are not worshipping wood, we are not worshipping silver or copper, we are worshipping the Lord. And it is very useful. It gives us so much mental strength. When you relate to the Ishvara in some way or the other, it gives lot of strength. Then the suicide, etc., will be very less. When this particular connection you form with the Lord, it gives you lot of strength. Therefore, this yajna in the form of puja is very useful. We should not dismiss it. All right. Then, Shuddha Buddhihi, Viraktaha. A person, when he has got this purity of the mind, then natural outcome is Viraktaha. He has got dispassion towards all positions. And here position is a representative word. This position, power, wealth, with reference to everything, he has got viraktihi, vairagyam. And what is the basis for vairagyam? What is the feeling or the idea associated with vairagyam? Tuchha buddhya. With the understanding that all these positions are insignificant. They really do not give me what I want. And by that, one more thing is suggested, that vairagyam does not mean hatred. Vairagyam doesn't mean I hate the things. Vairagya means I am not interested in that because I am committed to something higher. It is something like a child. When he was very small, then he was playing with some toys. Now he got bicycle. So, vairagya for toys. The small bicycle or tricycle. Then he gets bicycle, vairagya for tricycle. Not that he hates it. He doesn't hate. Outgrown. Better word is what? Outgrow. See, bicycle he outgrows. When he gets the motorbike, he outgrows. So similarly here, the this person is dispassionate towards all positions with the idea that it is not something I am seeking in my life. It will not give me what I want in my life. I want fulfillment, and all this will not give me that, and therefore viraktaha. And then parityajya sarvam. Vairagyam will be expressed in the form of sarva parityaga. So parityajya means having given up. Sarvam means everything. Everything that is not required for pursuit of moksha, that everything having given up. In fact, the tyaga happens very naturally. When you are committed to the higher, then all other things are dropped. You don't have to struggle to drop. it gets dropped. So sarvam parityajya yat tattvam apnoti. Whatever reality he attains, tattva means reality, which is going to be called as Brahma. The reality yat means which, apnoti, he attains. So having given up everything with vairagyam, then whatever reality he attains as oneself, that Brahma, tadeva param Brahma, that limitless Brahman alone, param means limitless, that limitless Brahman alone, aham asmi, I am. And what type of Brahma? Nityam. Nityam generally will translate as eternal. It doesn't convey much. We sometimes say permanent. But if we understand what Nitya means, then if we analyze, we understand Nitya means free from limitation of time, timeless. Means it does not have beginning, it does not have end, and therefore it does not have middle. Adi, Madhya, Anta, Rahita. That is Nityam. So that Nityam Brahma I am. In this manner, a person will be contemplating. And this Param Brahma Nityam Tadevaha Masmi is the refrain here. Means it will be repeated every time. Every time it will be connected to this line. So what is the meaning of this shloka? That having performed the sadhana of Karma Yoga and Upasana represented by Yajna, Dana and Tapaha. Tapaha represents Upasana. Yajna, Dana, Karma Yoga. With Karma Yoga and Upasana, person attains the purity of the mind. He gets Vairagyam for all positions, all forms of wealth, and he renounces everything that is not required for moksha, and he attains the ultimate reality as oneself. That reality I am. So it is a way of presenting the subject matter. And here, when it is said, having renounced everything, he attains reality. So here two things to be understood. One is that just because you give up everything, you don't attain Brahman. By merely giving up everything, all possessions, you don't attain Brahman. In fact, if you give up everything and this Brahma Prapti is not there, then there can be some emptiness in life. There are some people in Rishikesh, they Vairagi Baba, but they do not have, somehow they missed this study of Shastra, etc., and therefore there is some emptiness, and sometimes there will be some addiction in life. And therefore, merely giving up external possession is not the means for Amrita, means for attainment of Brahman. After renouncing everything, one needs to go to the teacher, learn Shastra, get the vision of oneself being limitless. So even though Parityajya apnoti, the Lebanta use Parityajya apnoti. So it looks like that you give up everything and you attain Brahman. That is not the case. So just by physical renunciation of everything, you don't attain. But renunciation of everything is necessary for attaining Brahma. That idea is conveyed. Without a Tyaga Buddhi, this Brahma Prapti is not possible, and therefore Parityajya Sarvam. And another thing is, attaining Brahman is a figurative expression. Brahman is not an object which you can go and attain. Brahman is not a place which you can travel to. Okay, I will go to Brahman. Like you go to some Badrinath, Kedarnath, similarly you go to Brahman. Brahma Loka you can go by travel. In fact, we have description of travel in our Shastra. In Chandogya, the description is given how Jiva travels to Brahma Loka. That is there. Some devatas will be there and they're welcoming and all this. Very nice description is there. But Brahma Loka, yes, not Brahman. Because Brahman is not a place. Brahman is not an object. What is Brahman? Brahman is the true nature of myself. The word Brahman does not convey any object. It does not convey the idea of any object. Brahman is a word used to reveal limitlessness of myself. So, Brahman is my true nature. So, attaining Brahman means claiming Brahman. And in that manner, one who, which Brahman this seeker attains, that Brahman I am. In other words, I am the destination of all the seekers. What all the seekers attain at the end of their sadhana, that destination I am. Is a nice way of thinking. I am the destination. Generally, people have this feeling, Swamiji, nobody cares for me, nobody gives any attention to me, nobody likes to talk to me. Some people have this, That is a different issue. There may be some reason in the person himself why it happens. But Shastra says, the truth about you is, you are the destination of all seekers. It is a very nice way of thinking. All seekers are coming to me. All seekers are coming to me. It's a very nice way of contemplation. I am the destination of all the seekers. What is the destination? Brahma. That Brahman I am. Param Brahma Tadeva Aham Asmi. Tadeva means what? It is not I am Brahman also and Jiva, Parichinna Jiva also. There is one particular view which is called Bheda Bhedavada or Dvaita Dvaitavada. They say I am different also and I am one also. And both are real. They said I am really different from Ishvara and I am really non-different from Ishvara. So that type of view is dismissed by Eva. Tad Brahma Eva Asmi Natu Parichinna Jivaha. This limited Jiva is not my real identity. Alright. So in this shloka, the Jnana Yogyata Prapti, that particular topic was highlighted. Now in the next shloka, the second topic of Jnana Prapti, that is highlighted. Dayalum Gurum Brahmanishtham Prashantam Samaradhyamatya Vicharya Swarupam Yadapnoti Tattvam Nididhyasya Vidvan Param Brahma Nityam Tadevahamasmi. Yeah, please read. Achha, you have got the reading Bhaktya. Samaradhya Bhaktya. Okay. Another reading is Matya also. I will explain both. Okay. First I will explain Bhaktya, so that you first. Majority, you are in majority. Okay. So the second is Jnana Prapti. As we saw in the last shloka, that for attainment of knowledge, Shuddha Buddhi, Virakti and Sarvatyaga, all of them are required, but they themselves will not give Jnanam. They are useful, important, but not enough for the attainment of Dhanam. In life, this is one important principle. Everything has a place, and let everything be in its place. So, this purity of the mind, Vairagya, Sarvatyaga, all of them have a place, but they themselves should not be considered to be the means of knowledge, direct means of knowledge. Just because I give up everything and therefore I get Brahma, that doesn't happen. They are important, useful, but not the complete means for this Jnana Prapti. Something else is required. Like for getting success in exam, should you eat or not? Every day should you eat or not? If you eat healthy food, then you will get good marks. Suppose it is said, if you eat healthy food, then you will get good marks. Or if you do yoga, you will get good marks. No? Correct, no? So, if I say, do yoga and get good result in your exam. Now, this fellow, he took my words too seriously. Generally, people don't, but this person took. And he is just doing yoga, not reading at all. Will he get good marks? No. So, doing yoga is useful, important for getting good marks, but they themselves are not the means for getting good marks. It should result in making the person study well. Similarly, the Shuddha Buddhi, Viraktaha, Sarvatyaga, they are very useful and they themselves will give some benefit. This Vairagyam is a very good wealth. When you have got the wealth of Vairagyam, you have lot of freedom, relative freedom you have. More Vairagyam you have, more free you are. In relative sense, more free you are. What binds you is your raga. We will be seeing tomorrow in Amrita Bindu Upanishad. Bandhaya Vishaya Saktam. And thus, all of them are very useful, but not decisive for getting knowledge. And therefore, in the next sloka, the second sloka, what is to be done for the attainment of knowledge, that is presented. First of all is Gurum Samaradhya. Having worshipped Guru. Samaradhya means having worshipped. Samyak Aradhya. And this is based on the Shruti Vakya. Tad Vijnanartham Gurumeva Abhigachet Samit Pani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham. Samit Pani. Samit means this firewood, which is the wood which is used for doing yajnas. And this Samit stands for the readiness to serve the teacher. And this aspect of seva of the Guru is very much highlighted in our tradition. Nowadays it is not followed too much. Originally, when a student of Vedanta goes to the teacher and he asks the question, Guruji, I have 5 questions. And Guruji will say, okay, I ask questions, and he get the answer and he left. That type of situation was not there. That was not allowed. In Prashna Upanishad it comes that 6 Shishyas, they go to the Guru and say, we have something to ask. He said, you be here for 1 year. Then afterwards I will give you the permission to ask questions. And afterwards, if I know the answer, I will give you. What a risk, It's like giving advance payment for something which may materialize, may not materialize. Many projects are like this. You give money and that project it doesn't take up. So here it is like that. But those Shishya, they stayed back. In Chandogya also 8th chapter, this Indra and Virochana, they went to Brahmaji for getting Brahma Jnanam. They say, you be here for 32 years. Eh? 32 first, then again 32, then again 32, then 5 years. That last one is 5 years. In fact, last one alone gives the ultimate knowledge, but for that concession was given. So 101 year he served, then only he got Dhanam. Why? Why it was done like this? Was it a scheme to get free, what is called free labors? Free work karta hu ashram, if ashram gets free labor, because Shishya have to first work. That is not the idea. Idea is that first of all, this seva will make up for any lacuna in qualification. If Chitta Shuddhi somewhere something is missing, in Viveka something missing, Shamadama missing, this Titiksha something is missing, so that all those lacuna, all the holes will be filled up, all gaps will be filled up. That is why this seva aspect was highlighted. And also because of seva, this rapport with the teacher will be developed. While doing seva, that he or she develops the rapport. And rapport is very important in communication. And therefore, this acharyopasanam, worshipping the teacher, worshipping means serving the teacher, even worshipping the teacher, is emphasized in our tradition. It should not be seen as a guru-dom. Have you heard the word guru-dom? Guru-dom means is unnecessary flattering these gurus, giving too much importance to guru when they don't deserve. That is called guru-dom, where guru is more important than even Bhagavan. That type of thinking is called guru-dom. So it is not guru-dom. As Pujya Swamiji this morning we saw that this guru is an institution. So this present guru, whomsoever you are considering guru, is representing the institution. So when we do namaskara to that guru who is there in front of us, we are doing namaskara to the institution, the guru tattva they call it, guru parampara we call it. So he or she is a representative of the entire parampara, entire guru institution. So it is not that person is so important, it is the guru tattva or guru institution is important. And when we have the respect for the guru institution, then the impact of the teaching will be more. You see, when somebody gives you some piece of information, but you do not have so much value for that person, then that information also will not be taken seriously. But the person whom you value so much, if that person tells you, you said, yeah, it must be so, let me do it. So the impact of the teaching is decided by how much value, respect you have to the source of this teaching. Shastra and Acharya, more respect I have, more impact I will have of the teaching. So therefore I am serving the guru not for guru's sake, I am serving the guru for my sake. In fact, if guru is telling that no, what type of shishya you are not serving at all, then if you do this no service, then I will dismiss you, etc. If guru is demanding seva, then you have to rethink whether he is the right guru. This seva of the guru is not for the benefit of guru, it is designed for the benefit of shishya. And in fact, person has to understand that then only he or she will be able to do seva effectively, properly. If he feels that, oh, what to do, I have to study, I have to do seva, otherwise guru will not teach. So let us take it as like a salary. Guru is working very hard, so give some salary of 5 hours seva, 6 hours seva per week or something. That should not be the attitude. Attitude is, I am privileged to have this opportunity to do seva, so that it helps me. And that is why in 13th chapter, Acharyopasanam, and elsewhere also, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So all these things are implied here, Samaradhya Gurum. What type of Guru? Dayalum. Dayalu means compassionate. Compassion is the main basis for Guru to teach, real Guru to teach. Real Guru will not be interested in your money. In fact, not will interested in your seva also. Guru is independent by himself, herself. So, he doesn't have any material basis to teach you. But still he teaches, maybe either of gratitude to the parampara or out of compassion to the student. Therefore, Dayalum. And Brahmanishtham, abiding in Brahman. Abiding in Brahma means abiding in the knowledge of Brahman. Because abidance in Brahman is a fact about yourself. Everybody has got abidance, your stay, your remaining, your being is in Brahman only. Therefore, Brahma Nishtha should be understood as Brahma Jnana Nishtha. So, abiding in Brahma is equal to abiding in Brahma Jnanam. What is the meaning of abiding in Brahma Jnanam? Brahma Jnanam is available at call. Whenever a situation arises, that time Brahma Jnanam is available, not forgotten. Like you have the knowledge of your name, you know your name. Now, do you repeat? Like your name is, suppose Devadatta, I am Devadatta, I am Devadatta, I am Devadatta. You are not repeating. But you have to fill up the form. In the first thing generally will be name. That name, knowledge is available. Generally you don't scratch here what to write, you don't say that. Why? That knowledge is available. Similarly, I am Brahman, that knowledge is available in the background all the time. It is not available in the form of a particular vritti. Means that person, people generally expect that wise person will be all the time, chanting this, Am Brahmasmi, Am Brahmasmi, Am Brahmasmi, Am Brahmasmi. So their lips will be moving, Am Brahmasmi, Am Brahmasmi. It is not so. Like you are not repeating, I am Devadatta, I am Devadatta, I am Devadatta. It is there. Similarly, I am Brahman, that knowledge is there in the background. Even when he or she is interacting, this knowledge is there. What is the benefit of that? Since I know I am Brahman, therefore there is no dependence upon anything for Purnatvam. Generally, people seek fulfillment through some action, through some achievement. I will be complete after I get this or that. Whereas, the wise person is the one who does not have dependence upon anything for Purnatvam. Purna I am and happen to be doing this or that. So, doing anything is not for Purnatvam. Purna already I am. So, that is called Jnana Nishtha. I am limitless Brahman is all the time in the background. Like a rich man, a person who is really rich, he doesn't have to say, I am a rich man, I am a rich man, I am a rich man. He doesn't have to repeat. But this understanding is there, and therefore, if there was a loss of some 5,000, 10,000, he said, okay, If real rich man, those who are neo-rich men, they will have a little bit shock, because they have not digested the richness. But one who has been rich for a very long time, and one who has digested the richness, that person say, okay. And if somebody tells that, if you come to my place for just 2 hours, I will give you 5,000. He will smile. He will not be carried away by, 5,000 is giving. Because he has digested his richness. So Similarly, this Brahma Jnanam is all the time available, therefore not carried away by that, and that person is called Brahmanistha. This idea of Brahmanistha, one needs to be clear, otherwise it remains a mystical state. That what is the meaning in remaining in Brahman? Remaining in Brahma means remaining in Brahma Jnanam. And Brahma Jnanam remaining means available all the time. Prashantam. It is composed because he doesn't have any fear of losing anything. No raga is there, no dvesha is there. And raga dvesha disturb my peace. And though disturbing factors are not there, therefore prashantam. To such Guru samaradhya, having worshipped. Then what? So having worshipped, bhaktya. Bhaktya means with devotion. So bhaktya samaradhya. Not forcefully samaradhya. Balat samaradhya nahi. So bhaktya samaradhya. Means the student is happy serving the Guru. And afterwards, vicharya swarupam, and having analyzed one's true nature. By this vicharya swarupam, both the sadhanas are suggested. One is Shravana, other is Mananam. So by Shravanam, he has got the vision of Vedanta about oneself. When he listens to the teaching of the scripture through the teacher, then he understands, I am Brahma. This is the vision of Shastra about me. That is Shravanam. And afterwards, if any doubt is there, he resolves by Mananam. So both of them are suggested by Vicharya Swarupam. Shravanam Mananam cha Krutva. Having done Shravanam and Mananam. Another reading is Matya. And Matya means Mananena Swarupam Vicharya. So up to Samaradhya is indicating Shravanam. Having gone to the teacher, he listens to the teacher. Shravanam was talked about. And Swarupam Matya Vicharya, having analyzed, deliberated upon one's true nature through Mananam. So both the sadhanas are talked about. For attainment of knowledge, the first sadhana is Shravanam, that is talked about, and the second sadhana, Mananam, is talked about. And then third sadhana, Yat Tattvam Apnoti Vidwan Nididhyasya. Vidwan means the person who has attained knowledge. A knowledgeable person who has done Shravana and Mananam, who has got conviction about the true nature of oneself. That person is called Vidwan. And that Vidwan, Nididhyasya, having contemplated upon one's true nature. Yat Tattvam Apnoti, the reality which he attains, that reality I am. So in this shloka, the three sadhanas for the attainment of knowledge are talked about. Here little bit more we will see what is Shravanam. Generally, Shravanam we define in a simple manner, listening to the scripture through the teacher. So listening to the scripture with the help of teacher in a systematic manner for a length of time. That is called Shravanam. So you go to the teacher, starts with Tattva Bodha, Bhagavad Gita, then Upanishad you learn. In Upanishad also generally there is an order. So generally you start with Mundaka or Katha, and then you learn Taittiriya or Kena, and then you Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka is there, then Mandukya you do. Or sometimes Mandukya is done first, then Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka is done. And then afterwards you study Brahma Sutra. This is called systematic listening. Nowadays this part many people are missing. Why? Because their all Shravanam is done on YouTube only, recording only, online only. So morning they will be listening to Tattva Bodha, afternoon they will be listening to Mandukya, and the evening they will be listening to Brahma Sutra. And therefore what happens, that a particular, this building up of this vision, the revelation of vision doesn't happen. Because certain things in Tattva Bodha are accepted provisionally, are dismissed in Mandukya. So, morning this idea is developed, in the evening it is dismissed, again morning it is developed. So, it is like a child, no, play with the sand. So, he makes all these buildings and then he kicks and he is gone. That building is gone. Again next day comes and makes. That's how. So, finally what remains? Sand remains sand. So, nowadays people think that we are doing so much Shravan from all directions, Swamiji, but it doesn't help. You may have satisfaction that you have finished this, you have finished, then you have a big list also. People keep a list also. I have studied this. It doesn't impress me. People just sometimes try to impress me. That, oh Swamiji, I have done this. It's not a big value. One has to study systematically. Back and forth, that does not give the vision with impact. You will have satisfaction. You can tick mark. This is done. This is done. In fact, they use the word finished. Swamiji, Kathopanishad finished. Generally, I don't like to use the word finished. You said completed, that's a better word. Anyway, but they say finished. They have finished. So, you finish so many things. You remain where you are. So, it is Shravana means studying systematically. And preferably, especially in initial stage, under one teacher. With one teacher. All these things may be very bitter advice, but it is required. So, because why, even though all the teachers of same sampradaya, but what happens, different teachers have got different emphasis on different sadhanas. Because of the audience in front. You do not know what type of audience, you are listening only online classes. So, someday some Paramananda Shishyas were there, so different advice, someday different advice. And therefore, it is very important, if possible, that you listen to one teacher for some length of time. 1 year, 2 years. And if that teacher doesn't suit you, it's not that in the marriage also it doesn't suit, so you have to find out other partner. So here also, horoscope not matching, like Guru Shishya horoscope not matching. So what you have to do? You have to go to other teacher. In Shiva Gita, it is said, you give chance to one teacher for 1 year. It's written, it means in those days also that situation must be there. That and said, after 1 year, if you don't feel satisfied, then you go to other teacher. But 1 year you have to give. One teacher you give. And listen to him or her, whoever is the teacher. Yeah, initially you have to do window shopping. So, okay, let me try which teacher I have to listen to. So, first 6 months or something, you try different teachers. But after 6 months, you fix one teacher. And listen to him or her for at least 1 year, I would say 3 years. Wherever you are, listen to one teacher. Whatever text he or she has taught, listen to that. In spirituality, it is not that more teachers means a better vision. It is something like, if you have a good husband or good wife, your married life will be wonderful. Swamiji, one husband is making such a wonderful life. How about 2 husbands? Better though. 3 husbands, better life, Swamiji, married life. Is it like that? No. Similarly, initially, I don't say that you have to stick with one guru only. After some time, if it is not suitable, or whatever you have to learn from that guru, you have learnt, then you perhaps sometimes outgrow the guru, then you go to another teacher. Nothing wrong. But at a time, if possible, if practical, listen to one teacher in initial stage. Once you have listened 5-6 years about some time, then if you listen to different teachers because of your requirement of particular topic, then nothing wrong. You have already done Shravanam with one teacher. And now some teacher has got, what is called liking for particular text, so he will be explaining that text better. So you listen to that teacher, nothing wrong. But when there is a what is called initial stage, formative stage, at that time it is better to listen to one teacher. And as I said, for 5-6 months you try different teachers, but within 6 months you decide that I think this teacher's teaching suits me well. Then you go with that teacher. I have seen people, the rolling stone gathers no moss. You have heard this, no? So it is like this. So better systematic teacher under systematic learning under one teacher. That is the simple definition of Shravanam. Technical definition of Shravanam is sadhana of arriving at the Tatparyam of all Vedanta Vakyas in Advaita Brahma. Sarvesham Vedantanam Advaite Brahmani Tatparyavadharananukula Manasi Kriya Shravanam. That is the definition. Anyway, I will don't bother about Sanskrit. In English, what it means, Shravanam is technically the sadhana of arriving at the Tatparyam. What is the Tatparyam of all the Shruti Vakyas? So when you understand that all the Shruti Vakyas apparently talking about different things, some talks about Rai Prana, some talks about this Lokapala and all this, but finally all of them are having their commitment to reveal one non-dual reality as myself. When you come to this conviction, then your Shravanam is complete. Till then, you have to keep listening. So Shravanam is a sadhana of arriving at the purport, the Tatparyam of all the Vedanta Vakyas in non-dual Brahma. That is called Shravanam. Mananam means when there is contradiction from other source, other means of knowledge, Pratyaksha, Anumana or other philosophers. Manantara Virodha Shankayam, when there are doubts based on other means of knowledge or other philosophies, other schools of thought, then you resolve them by using the yukti. Manantara Virodha Shankayam. Yuktya, the Shanka Nivarana Janako Vyaparaha. The mental activities which will dismiss all the doubts based on the apparent contradiction with other means of knowledge. In simple words, after getting the vision of Shastra, when you have these doubts that Vishishtadvaiti says like this, Dvaiti says like this, and then you resolve those doubts with the help of reasoning. You cannot simply say, no, Swamiji, it doesn't look right. Some people say that, Swamiji, I don't feel right. Is a right and wrong are not just matter of feeling. Generally, they are not matter of feeling. Sometimes for some sweet, etc., you can say, I don't feel good. That is okay. But for the truth, feeling is not the pramanam. So you dismiss something based on yukti, based on the pramanam. So with the help of yukti, reasoning, you resolve all the doubts, and that process of resolving all the doubts with the help of reasoning is called mananam. And nididhyasanam is viparita bhavana nivartaka sadhanam. The sadhana of removing the viparita bhavana. Viparita bhavana means what? Habitual error. Habits, when you have got wrong habits, wrong thinking, even though you have got right thinking, that habitual wrong thinking doesn't go away overnight. Somebody's name was, say, Rama Chaitanya, and he took sannyasa. You participated in that function also. You saw that he is taking sannyasa, and his now new name is this what is called Brahmananda. Now you have got the knowledge. He is Brahmananda, he is not Rama Chaitanya. But you have been associated with him for 10 years, and you have been calling him Ram Chaitanya ji, Ram Chaitanya ji, Ram Chaitanya ji. So now when you meet him next, even though you have knowledge that he is Brahmananda, still you may call what? Ram Chaitanya ji. And the what is called irony sometimes is that that person himself, he doesn't have the idea. He also has got habitual error. So if he is called by, hey Swamiji, Brahmananda, he will not respond. Why? Because he is used to be addressed how? Rama Chaitanya ji. So he also will not look at you if you call him Brahmananda. So he also has habitual error. And habitual error does not go away by mere knowledge. That knowledge has to become strong enough to neutralize the effect or the strength of habit or habitual thinking. Whatever strength that habitual thinking has, that similar strength or more strength of the right knowledge has to come. So wrong habitual thinking can be removed by the strength of right thinking. And that is why we repeat this idea, I am Brahma, I am not this body, mind, sense complex. That is called Nididhyasanam. And by that Nididhyasanam, one owns up the reality, and that Brahman I am. Thus, in the first shloka, this Jnana Yogyata was talked about. In the second shloka, Jnana Prapti, the attainment of knowledge. Attainment of knowledge by what? Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasanam. And the Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasanam, three put together are called Jnana Yoga. So, Karma Yogena, Upasanaya, Jnana Yogyata Praptihi, Jnana Yogena, Jnana Praptihi. So, by Jnana Yoga, consisting of Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasanam, one attains Jnanam. Now, what is that Jnanam? What is the content of that Jnanam? That will be described from the next shloka, which we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purname Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.